This is me, Travon Jones. Listen, there's a gentleman, well, I shouldn't say gentleman, a fucking dumbass fuckface by the name of Chud the Builder, who recently went to prison because he kept antagonizing and being racist towards black people, American black people, calling them chimps and they chimping out and all this kind of shit. Well, the racist, he went to prison, but white supremacy, they stick together. White supremacy knows how to stick together. And they got that motherfucker out of prison. Well, that's what they're saying. A casino raised $1 million to bail Chud the Builder out. Now, this man has been harassing us and trying to look for a reason to murder a black person, to unalive a black person. That's his whole goal in life, to murder a black person. And the problem that I'm having right now is we as black people, we are seeing the racists coming out more and more and more and more and more and more. And black folks, we don't have any allies. If you think about it, every group is against us. We have no allies. The Asians, the Latinos, they're not our friends. They are not our brothers. They have never wanted to join with us or ally with us. We know for sure white people ain't never wanted to motherfucking ally with us, and they've always been hateful of us. Now, I was reading a statistic, and it was saying how white people, a lot of them are obsessed with black people. That's where all this hatred comes from. And they actually have a mental illness because they have so much hatred towards black people. That's a mental illness that a lot of white people carry. And this is a scientific fact that white people, a lot of them, have a mental illness, and they think that black people are just, these things or these beings that they can just attack, use, abuse, hurt. And I'm just trying to figure out, when are we as a people going to come together? Because we're finally waking up. See, our little 400 years, going through, that slavery and all that kind of shit that we went through, and being in another land and, and just being totally just disrespected by other groups of people. Well, that 4 years is up. But we have to go through a 7-year tribulation because they know that their time is up. But let's be honest. We don't own any gun stores. We don't own ammunition like that. We have all these other groups that are against us. When are we going to come together? What is it going to take for foundational Black Americans to finally unite? See, our enemies have been doing a good job with keeping us separated from each other. You got our Black women over here with that feminist shit, joining a white woman with that feminism bullshit. And, and a lot of Black men over here falling for that trap of going to go get other races and groups of women that we shouldn't even be fucking with, when the Most High told us to leave those other nations alone. That's what the Most High told us to do. But what do? We just go with the Filipinos because we just hate Black women so much. We don't want to be around our own women because our women have been bamboozled, and now our men are being bamboozled, and our enemies are the ones that are controlling this whole narrative. And we are allowing them to do it. We got to stop this. We have to finally come together. This is very important because they letting Chud the Builder out of prison. This motherfucker tried to use white supremacy to unalive a Black person, but because it failed, white supremacy will throw your ass away real quick. They will throw you away real quick. But what we're realizing is, because we are hated so much, they actually got money together. They got that $1 million. So now, not only he may be free, Chud the Builder, but Now he's a millionaire. He's rich now because white supremacy sticks together. And I'm just trying for the life of me to try to figure out what is it going to take for us foundational Black Americans to finally stick together, because we're seeing it. Now we're waking up, because I'm looking online and I'm seeing a whole lot of us finally realizing who we really are. We are really finally understanding who we really are as a people. We know damn well we wasn't shipped from no damn Africa. We were already here in what we call the Americas today. And a lot of us are finally realizing that, and we're learning that. So all praises to the Most High for that. But what is it going to take for us to finally break free? Because our ancestors did this over and over again. When we built cities, when we built, we separated ourselves, white supremacy comes in. Those jealous white motherfuckers come in, and what do? Destroy our towns. You know how they're able to do that? Because we don't own anything. We don't own any gun stores. We don't own any grocery stores. Your enemy is in control of your whole livelihood. We have to stop doing that. When are we going to say enough is enough? Because we have no allies. Nobody gives a fuck about us. As a matter of fact, people are coming over here to step over us, to take from us. They are trying to erase our history. You got immigrants coming up in this motherfucker over here saying things like, never mind what the foundational Black Americans did, the slaves did, because we keep saying we built this country. Black Americans built everything for all these other people to come over here and enjoy. Well, you got immigrants of the Latino persuasion over here saying, nah, fuck all of that. We don't give a fuck about the slaves. We talking about the immigrants now that are building this country up, that's building. That's what they're on right now. Just dismissing our struggles, who we are as a people. They are trying to come in and replace us. Look at Joy Reid right now. Joy Reid, when she was on that show, that NBC, whatever the fuck show that bitch was on, that African Tether, what was she doing? She was clowning FBAs, disrespecting us, dogging us out. Now you got Kamala Harris over here, and you got Joy Reid over here saying, oh no, you have a right to ask for your reparations. You have a right to ask. Well, we saw what Kamala did. She gave reparations to the Asians and a hate crime bill. And they use us as the face of the hate crime bill, y'all, just so that they can give money to the Asians. That's crazy as hell. That's what Kamala Harris did, that Democratic motherfucker. She did that to us, y'all. Joe Biden and Kamala, they did that to us. And you got Joy Reid over here and that roly-poly Roland Martin motherfucker over here just boosting up immigrants over us, and telling us that we have to wait for, reparations. It has to get passed through this and passed through that. Well, we saw what Kamala Harris did. She gave reparations right away. She didn't have to go through any Congress and go through anything. She was able to give reparations right away. And some of our people were okay with it as long as they continue to get their tangibles, the things that they want to get, their Section 8, their housing, their schooling, things like that. While all these immigrants come over here getting all this money on their food stamps, getting housing, getting, money, being treated like royal treatment, while we sit up there having the highest homelessness in our own damn land, in our own damn country. But everybody want to be mad at Trump because he wants to give those insurrectionists reparations. Everybody's upset with Trump. Well, you know what? I don't really like that he wants to give them reparations. I don't really like that either. But you know what? Trump is doing what I want him to do. He's getting rid of all these immigrants. He's getting rid of a lot of these motherfucking immigrants that are in our way. So while a lot of you black people was making fun of Trump saying that, hey, these immigrants are taking black jobs. And then you got a bunch of black people making videos talking about, oh, is this a black job? Is that a black job? No, motherfucker. These foreigners are over here taking jobs that should be going to us. And we're not talking about, picking cotton, picking fruit and all that kind of shit. We ain't talking about shit like that. We just talking about regular motherfucking jobs. Regular damn jobs that should be going to our children, our people, and just American people in general. Regardless to what, if they came here the right way, those jobs should be going to us and to them, not motherfuckers that came over here illegally, jumping over every goddamn body and we over here catering to them. So yeah, I'm cool with Trump go ahead and giving the insurrectionists money as long as he's doing what the fuck I want him to do, and that's getting rid of these immigrants. That's all I need him to do. That's all I need Trump to do. But no, I ain't no Trump friend, because Trump ain't never promised us, or no Republican ever promised us black people that we were going to get reparations. But I will say this, though. Why can't we ask them? You got the Democrats over here talking about, oh, you're not going to be able to ask this president for reparations. You're not going to be able to ask because he's not going to do it. You black people, you guys are over here trying to force us to give you reparations, but Trump ain't going to give. Well, let's see. Trump is the only president that got a bunch of black men out of prison that didn't belong there. For a white supremacist and a racist, he got a whole lot of black men that never belonged in prison in the first place. He got them out. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden wanted to keep them in, even though they found out they didn't belong there in the first place. They wanted to keep them in prison. Trump got them out. So why can't we ask Trump for reparations? Why not? You gonna listen to the Democrats who never was gonna do a goddamn thing for us listen to them tell us not, well, don't ask this, Trump, don't ask him for no reparations. Yeah, let's ask him for reparations. Why not? Why not? Because see, right, a lot of white supremacy, they realize, because see, a lot of us ain't gonna fuck our money off. A lot of us are going to be buying land and buying things. This is the reason why white supremacy does not want us to have anything, because they want to control us. They want to be able to keep us in a box. So if a war break off, are we going to be okay? Because again, we don't own anything. We don't own any gun stores, any bullets. We have guns. I have guns. We all, we got guns and shit like that, bullets and shit like that. But we don't. It would be nice if I can go to a FBA business that sell guns and bullets and weapons and shit like that. I would love that. But I asked the question again. What is it going to take for us to finally wake up? Because we can't let Chud the Builder get away with that. See, we let, the dude that killed Travon Martin, that bastard, even though he's had a whole meltdown and he's loonier than a fucking tune right now. All praises to the Most High. He should not have been able to get away with what he got away with. He should have been put out of his misery. But we're such godly people. We don't think like that. We just let life handle the situation. And I'm all for an eye for an eye. Two for a tooth, eye for an eye. That's the way I feel about shit. What's good for me is good for you. That's the way I feel about it. But we're slowly but surely getting there. But we're not moving fast enough. And I just need a small percentage of us foundational Black Americans to get together so that we can build our own schools, build our own grocery stores, buy our own land, so that we can live. Because when you have your own land, you have everything that you need. You can grow your own food. You can get you some chickens. You can get you some. So if you eat pork, I don't eat pork, but if that's what you eat, you can get you some pigs. You can get you some animals on your farm, on your land. Well, no, white supremacy don't want you to have it. That's why the lower whites that are suffering right now under Trump, they'll be jealous as fuck. But this is a new day. And we're not going to put up with that shit that happened in Tulsa and Rosewood and where they was burning down. No, we not. This is a new day. We're not putting up with that. We're not going to do that. Not anymore. Them days are over with. But with that being said, aren't we tired yet? Aren't we tired yet? When are we going to say that enough is enough? Because we have no allies, y'all. We have no friends, no one that is going to be there for us. No one. We have each other. We have ourselves. We have to start acting together. We have to get together. And we have to learn how to keep a lot of shit off the internet, because other groups are listening to us also. But we have to learn how to roll without, telling everything, telling all our business, and shit like that. We have to learn how to do these things. But family, I'm just saying we have to come together because we are at war. We have been at war. It has never, ever stopped. Quick story. You guys remember in the Bible where so-called Jesus, because that's not his real name, Jesus went to that temple because you had all these immigrants and foreigners. Because see, ain't nothing new under the sun. The same shit they do now, they was doing back then. Were coming to the temple around the Israelites and selling their selling and wanting people to buy, our people to buy on the Sabbath. And we're not supposed to be doing those types. We're not supposed to be buying and selling. That's our holy day. That's our holiday, our holy day, the Sabbath. Every week, we're not supposed to be buying or selling. But you have your enemies coming into your neighborhoods, and they are selling you things, keeping you in sin. Well, when Jesus knocked over all those tables and he started beating the shit out of everybody because they were over here selling in the temple and they wasn't supposed to be doing it, they're not supposed to be doing it now either. Ain't nothing new under the sun. And that's a lot of the shit that we're doing is keeping us in sin. And our enemies know that because they know if they can keep us in sin, they can continue to eat off of us and leech off of us and take from us. We have to get out of that mentality and that way of thinking. We have to unify. That is the key. Like all these other groups, look at how white supremacy unified with Chud the Builder. Now he was going out there looking to kill a black person. He was looking to do it. And he shot someone, but that black person didn't die. So now white supremacy, what do? They raise all this money for him. And now he possibly could be out of prison now. He can possibly be out of prison because he raised enough money. But when I tell you, this should be an eye opener for us. This should be an eye opener for us. Because we got things to do, family. We got major things to do. Open our eyes because we are at war. And this doesn't mean be nasty to other groups, treat other groups like shit. That's not what I mean when I say that. But what I do like is that us as foundational Black Americans, we have learned how to separate ourselves from a lot of them. See, it was a time when when the Africans can come over here, we over there dressing like the Africans. We over here saying, yeah, those are our brothers, blah, 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 blah. We want to connect with them. They separated themselves from us. They didn't want to have nothing to do with us. We did that shit with the Latinos. They stuck on this black and brown bullshit that don't even exist. Now we realize they don't want to join with us. And now we're finally realizing, okay, it's okay for us to separate from all these other groups. But isn't it funny how all these other groups, they come over here with their culture, they separate themselves from us all day long. Nobody says a word. They come over here in our country speaking other languages, bringing their culture over here when they should be adapting to the American culture. When you come to America, you immigrants should be adapting to the American culture, to us, not the other way around. You don't come to this country for us to adapt to you. That's not how the fuck that should be working. But you notice how they all stick together. They all stick together. But they hate it. Now that we're finally saying, no, fuck that. We got to delineate from these motherfuckers. We got to delineate from these motherfuckers. We can't keep being with them. We can't keep being disrespected by these people and watching their hatred, watching them tell us, well, we don't want you guys to have reparations because that'll be hostile. That'll make other groups hostile, and that'll make people feel, but all the while other people are getting reparations right now. I just want y'all to see that. So you goddamn right. I want us to get reparations. You goddamn right. We need reparations, and right away. But you notice how they have a problem when we say, no, we're going to separate ourselves and say, no, we FBAs now. We're foundational Black Americans. We're freedmen. We don't want to be African American, because with that African American, the Africans get to latch on to us. And because they're authentic Africans, they feel like they should be in the forefront because we're not authentic Africans. You know, we've been watered down, you know, and supposedly we've been taken from Africa and brought to a whole nother. So we're even though we're African, not true authentic Africans, but they still want to put boxes in that African American group just so that they could attach themselves onto us and take from us. And they want to be the representatives. Look at Ghana right now. They keep trying to be the representatives for us. Why the fuck would the Pope go to Africa and apologize to them for us? Why would the Pope do that? Well, here, I'm going to tell y'all right now, I don't accept none of their motherfucking apology. I don't accept the Catholics' apology because the Catholics did horrible things to our people. Those nuns did horrible things to our people. They were murdering our children. They were raping our women. They were killing our men. They were burning us at the stake. They were doing all kind of horrible atrocities and putting fucking crosses in our faces, talking about you need to join this so you can go to heaven. You need to be a Christian, Catholic so you can go to heaven and worship this white Jesus that don't even exist. That's what they were doing to us. But they want to apologize for slavery. But they want to go to Africa to apologize on our behalf. But then you got Ghana over here wanting to take our reparations on our behalf too. Yeah, I'm so proud of us. Let's keep separating from them. And the more we see, the more it should be easier. If that's a word. Yeah, easier. You know, it should be easier for us to separate ourselves from these demons. And when we finally really wake up, because we're waking up, but once we are finally woke, we can move forward. Once our 7-year tribulation is over with, it's a done deal, because we're going to get our reparations. We're going to get back our land that was promised to us from the Most High. We're going to get it. So we just have to sit tight and hold tight. But in the meantime, we need to come together. This is very important. Men, we need to come together. Women, we need to come together and stop all this foolishness that we got going on. Now, I'm a man. I feel the same way a lot of other men feel about some of our women today. But I know enough to know that we got to let that go, because a lot of the problems and the issues that we have was caused by other groups. They put poison in our women's ears and in our men's ears to keep us separated from each other so that we can be at odds at each other and be in a situation that we're in now. But we have to start bringing back whole families, marriage, things of this nature. We have to start bringing that, raising our children in a home together with a father in it, not just with the mama raising sons and daughters by herself and then wondering why we got a whole generation of men and boys that a lot of our women are disappointed in. But some kind of way they still want to blame men for A lot of our young boys, and men turning out the way that they turned out. Saying, well, if the men were there, no. Sometimes we have to, because you're so damn defiant and so hateful, we have, in order so we won't kill each other, men have learned how to separate ourselves from them. Because one thing I noticed, women are narcissists. Women are 1,000 times more narcissistic than any man could ever be. Isn't it amazing how a woman can say things like, that's your mama. It don't matter what your mama do. You love your mama. That's your mother, and you're supposed to love her and respect her no matter what she do. I'm sorry, but that's fucking narcissistic. I ain't never heard no woman say, that's your daddy. That's your father. You respect him, and I don't care what he do. You respect him and you love him. I ain't never heard no woman say that. Ever. I just haven't heard it. That's narcissistic ass behavior. Or you'll get a woman that says, you don't hit no woman. But a woman, she can beat the shit out of you and hit you and hurt you. But if you pop her one back, you don't hit no woman. A woman, no matter what she do. That's narcissistic ass behavior. See, our women got to get out of that. Got to get out of that way of motherfucking thinking. But a lot of that was feminism from other groups, white women in particular. And our black women fell for it like a bunch of damn fools and idiots. And now you got our black men, because we're so fed up with our black women acting like white women, with that hatred towards us. All the while, these white women and all these other groups are swooping in on the black men. It was a setup, and it was designed to keep us separated from each other. And we got to quit falling for that shit. We got to quit falling for it. But family, they say Chud the Builder, he's either getting out or he's out. So what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do? See, all I need, I'll be cool with just 1,000 of us getting together and coming together and buying land and, and starting our own damn population and, and our own, city. That would be right up my alley. I would love that, because trying to continuously conform to this society, we got to get up out of this goddamn society, because the hate is real. The hatred is real. And the reality is we don't own or have anything. So if a war broke off right now, we would be screwed, y'all. We will be screwed, because look at all the people that will come after us. You got the Latinos, white people, Asian, Africans. They all hate us. They all hate us. They all hate us. So that's why we got to come together. My foundational Black Americans, we are at war, and we have to stick together. I'm just going to keep saying that. Now, I know I haven't been online on YouTube in a long time, because I'm mostly on TikTok now. I like TikTok. You know what I'm saying? TikTok is much, much better, in my opinion. But, but we got to spread the word where we can, because we are seeing it in real time. How we have no allies and how much we're hated. And if a war breaks off, like I said, we're fucked up and we're screwed. So we better come together. Foundational Black Americans, we need to unite. I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. I just had to rant real quick. But our enemies, white supremacy, they're sticking together right now. Chud the Builder, he's rich now, y'all, because of being a racist towards us. He's rich. We gotta do better. We gotta come together, y'all. And this is very, very urgent. Very, very urgent. Do me a favor, Press that thumbs up, you guys. Like, share, and subscribe. And I see I got a few messages over here that says this message is held in review. Gee, I wonder what the fuck that motherfucker had to say. Interesting. I would love to see what that had to say. Oh, okay. Well, thank you, moderator. You handled it. Appreciate it. Yeah, you respect Negroes, huh? No, you don't. Because your stupid ass would know that we not motherfucking Negroes, you fucking Neanderthal. Fuck you. But we don't respect you. And a lot of us are waking up to your fucking antics and your racism, and we're tired of you. We are sick of you. And it's high time that you get the punishment that you deserve. And it's coming real soon. But do me a favor, you guys. Thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. And I'm going to see you all on the next video, whenever that may be. Shalom.